the president is mandated to appoint ministers, as many as he deems fit to be able to execute the mandate given to him successfully. And that has been one of the points of reaction and defense of the New Patriotic Party, that if they have this particular size of government and that would help them execute their mandate effectively, would rather wait for the end to justify the means and not necessarily criticize the size of government if they're able to effectively discharge their mandate. Let me stay, Dr. Brenya, on the Skype a bit. Now, I've been joined on the telephone by Asieidu Nketia. He's the General Secretary of the Opposition National Democratic Congress. Mr. Asieidu Nketia, thank you very much for your time. Good evening to you. Great to have you. Now, you have said that the NPP is confused. They say that they never promised a lean government because the end will justify the means. Find out your thoughts on this.
In fact, when I heard the list of ministers, and I heard that they were doing a press conference, I thought they would get some reason, good reason to tell Ghanaians. They've just insulted us further by saying that we did not promise a lean government. Are they therefore implying that anything they didn't promise, they have liberty to do? They must come out to tell us what it is in terms of value for money that we will be gaining as a nation out of that appointment. But just to come and say that we didn't promise a lean government, so we are at liberty to do whatever we wish, I think that it is, rather rubbing pepper in the wounds. It's not correct at all. The argument that the economy is so destroyed that they need a bigger team to do the work. It also doesn't, excuse my language, doesn't make sense.
Why exactly?
Are they saying that, so when you have a weak economy, which does not have the capacity to spend on a bigger overhead, is that the time where you appoint more ministers?
No, but
that will require a lot more money to be paying them.
The point they make,
when you are talking about, we are talking about competence. I see telling us that when you have an incompetent person doing one job, you need 3 competent people to be doing that same job. Is that what they want to imply?
Now, they make the point that the kind of economy and the problems that the country is faced with, that you left to them, as in the actual administration left to them, they need all hands on deck. And indeed, the Constitution mandates and gives the president that power to appoint as many ministers as he deems fit to be able to prosecute that mandate given to him. Exactly where do you disagree on this point?
I mean, what work would the ministers be doing themselves? Ministers are there to take decisions for people to work. So they shouldn't let it appear as if the ministers themselves are the ones going to do the work. Their salaries and overheads will just, just make the cost of doing business even more expensive. It is not on. That argument is faulty. I mean, then they should proceed to appoint one district, one minister, so that each minister will be responsible for one district so they can finish the work quickly. Do we have to be all ministers before we can work, put our hands on deck to turn the economy around?
You talk about value for money earlier on. This will be my final question. The value for money bit, they say that the end will justify the means, so that if this 110 are able to discharge on their mandate effectively, turn the economy around, then it will justify the numbers that have been appointed now.
Look, if they don't know how to calculate value for money, tell them that a ministry which is headed by one person, if he takes a decision, you can calculate the cost of that decision, as opposed to a ministry which is headed by 4 ministers. Each of them have to be paid, they have to be housed, they have to be transported around on free fuel, land cruisers, saloon cars, and all that. So that ministry, one facilitation they will be doing for private sector to progress. When you put all these as overheads on that decision, you see how much one decision costs the nation. What are they going to have all those people there? Are they going to farm? What is the point in not being able to recruit nurses and pay them to man the hospital? And you rather choose to employ more ministers and pay them with the money. It comes to priorities, wrong priority setting.
All right, thank you. Johnson Asieidu Nketia is the General Secretary of the Opposition National Democratic Congress, NDC, is there now.